Hola chicos, tengo una pregunta para ustedes. ¿Ustedes saben lo que están haciendo cuando dicen que quieren sonar o quieren hablar con un acento dominicano? Están haciendo algo que se llama dialect acquisition or dialect learning. I believe that is the right term, and I want to share more of that with you and some more tidbits just generally about picking up an accent or a way of speaking. And I'm going to talk about this as generally with any language. So, the process of learning, I have notes here, the process of learning or adapting a specific dialect within a language is often referred to as dialect acquisition or dialect learning. It involves mastering the unique vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, and cultural nuances of a particular region or social variation of a language. If you want to emphasize studying the social linguistic context of the dialect while acquiring it, the process might be part of social linguistic adaptation. I'm Mira, having issues talking. So for this may sound like a lot to some of you, but if you're studying in university, you're taking it as a major, you already know that you're going to be in a department of linguistics. You're going to be learning like very advanced grammar, phonetics, and so much more, because that's a part of language learning. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm choosing and I'm deciding that I want to have a particular type of accent. And an example that I would give is with English. With people that are learning English as a second language, they're typically learning American English. They can. It's very rare that I've personally have seen where it's being taught to have an accent more as if they were from the UK, unless you are in the UK. But outside of that, I typically see that the American English is how people are learning English. And so, similar to Spanish, you can have or you could learn in a certain way. Now, in school, for those of you that are learning more formally, I know a lot of you are not. A lot of you are learning through YouTube, social media, etc. But if you're learning through school, if they ever do go to a certain culture in terms of accent, they lean more towards Mexico or España. That's just what the schools do. I'm not going to go into more conversation about that, but you get what I'm trying to say in that regard. The other thing generally about learning a language is also understanding that every country and the language that's in that country, you can go to another part of that same country, the opposite side of the country, and maybe there's a different accent that is there. And that is similar to the United States, where up north, you have people that sound a certain way. And then down south, you may hear people that talk another way. You may have people up north, like here, yo vivo en Nueva York, and it could be like, even within New York City, there's probably like 3 or 4 different accents in New York City. Give me some coffee. Yeah. And then you go down south, and in the club we all fam. I'm joking around, but you get my point. And so that's the same, whether that's in the Dominican Republic, you could be in La Vega compared to La Capital, and you're going to hear some differences. So that's just normal. So I do think that some people that are not very into linguistics, language learning, it may come off as like, why do they want to sound like they're from a certain area? That's with anytime you learn language, that's what's happening. And you can pick and choose and decide how you personally would like to sound. That's just a part of it. I hope you learned a little bit more about what it is that you're doing, or maybe you learn more about linguistics, generally speaking, because you are interested in learning a certain dialect or a certain accent. Y como siempre, muchísimas gracias por ver este video. Like, comment, subscribe. Mira, en inglés y español no puede pronunciar esa palabra. Subscribe, and of course, what else? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'll see you in the next one.